Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of Coffee Nick's Movie Picks, a freshly brewed coffee and movie review podcast for you. Except today, we're not going to talk about coffee or movies. In fact, we're not going to talk about coffee or movies at all. That's my one Twin Peaks reference I get. I promise I'm done. My name is Nick Delaney, and I'm your show host, loyal pop music girly, and just another one of the kids who was deeply impacted and transformed by Troye Sivan's Blue Neighborhood in the summer after his freshman year of high school. As you know, today we have no coffee brewing and no movie showing. So what are we gonna do? Why are we here? What's the point? What's the purpose? The purpose is, this is a special bonus episode where we are having the show's first album review in a segment called Now Playing. And I am honored and so excited for the first album to be Music for You and Your Friends by Zach Benson. Please take a seat, stay a while, and let's talk grungy indie pop star fantasy over some coffee. But first, please make sure to follow the show at Coffee Nick's Movie Picks on Instagram and TikTok, and Coffee Nick Pick on X. I don't really post on TikTok or X, but you should still follow me, please. There you can find show updates like new releases, movie and music discussions, coffee pictures, and much, much, much more. Again, that's at Coffee Nick's Movie Picks. Please give me a follow. Since there is no coffee happening today, I invite you all to please find something to sip on while we do this review. It can be coffee. It doesn't have to be, though. Personally, my coffee is a peach-flavored White Claw. So let's get with that. Let's talk about White Claws for a second. When I'm at home, when I pick up an alcoholic beverage from the grocery store, I am not really a beer person. I'm a wine person, but what I really am is a hard seltzer type of person. They always just feel very light, very refreshing, and I don't want to hear all of this seltzer, sparkling water hate. I'm sick of it. I am so sick of people, direct messaging me on Instagram or sending me a TikTok or a meme saying like, oh, you like sparkling water? You like seltzers? It's like they just had the fruit kind of sitting in the room with the water and that's how they flavored it. Oh, it tastes like TV static. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Let me enjoy what I want to enjoy. Do not rob me of this enjoyment. With that said, I like sparkling water and I like seltzers. So when I go to the grocery store to get myself a special drink, I am going to pick up a case of White Claws or, maybe a Topo Chico. They make hard seltzers, I think. Or what's that one? High Noon. Those are good too. Really any of them kind of do the job. I personally do White Claw because that's what I know and love. It's refreshing to me. I like it. The flavors are nice and you're not super bogged down by it. Like if I just drank a ton of beer, I feel like that'd kind of be heavy. So yeah, a peach White Claw, that is my favorite flavor as well. I invite you all to crack a cold one open with me too. And I know that White Claws are super popular and they had their moment in the limelight, but who says that has to end? I'm still enjoying it. I am. So White Claw and hard seltzers get the Nick pick, and the people that are going to bully me and harass me constantly and endlessly for enjoying my sparkling beverages get the Nicks. I've had enough. I'm sick and tired of it, actually. That joke has been made a million times before. I don't want to hear you make it again. I'm not going to even pretend to laugh when you make it again. We're through. We're done. Okay, so how about I actually start to talk about the music and this album and what I am doing here today. As we know, I have a whole preface set up before I even start talking about the album. I'll be quick. Don't rush me. As we know, I do not usually review music. That's because I am not exactly educated in music and music critique like I am with movies. I know the music industry, I had a few classes or, units in classes about the music industry. And I feel like I know good music and I know how to kind of critique music on a surface level. But anything with music production, or music theory, I was not a music student, so I don't know completely. So, with that said, I'm not educated in music and music critique like I am with movies, but I know a good song when I hear one. Okay. So, I don't really have the complete vocabulary or critical lens to pinpoint what makes a song good. I can say, like, oh, I really like this about a song or that. But I can't really use like the technical terms like I do with movies, but I will try my best here to put into words what is going on, what my thoughts are, and I'll try to make the words I'm saying do justice to my thoughts and also the album. But the best way to understand what's going on here is, of course, to listen to it yourself. I do this with any review I do. If you listen to the show, you know this. Whether it's movies or music, the best way to develop your own opinion and experience media is by experiencing it for yourself, not through someone else's opinion or someone else's review. It's great if you want to listen to reviews before something comes out or before you see it. That's great, but you'll never truly know if you like it unless you experience it yourself. So stream this album when it comes out. Stream it because I am sure you will love it. Now, also before we get into reviewing the album, I want to encourage you all to listen to the previous Coffee Nick episode. Zach, the artist of the album I'm about to be reviewing, is the guest star of the episode, and we discuss the album, his creative process behind it, challengers, and also we somehow get to discussing the Muppets. So it's a really fun time. Definitely listen to it. I had a great time recording that episode. It is so much fun. Okay, that's enough. Let's talk about some high quality indie pop music. In our first ever, now playing, Music for You and Your Friends by Zach Benson. Music for You and Your Friends is the second album from Virginia-based indie pop star Zach Benson, which he describes as a grungy pop star fantasy that makes you feel like you're in a basement with all your friends, playing songs for each other and screaming along to the lyrics. The album comes after the success of his first album in 2020, Hopeless Romantic, and after his 2022 EP and Miles to Go Before I Sleep. Zach took 2023 to reset and gather new inspiration by drawing on the perspectives of the people around him. Music for You and Your Friends will be released May 17th, and you can stream or purchase the 10-track album digitally or purchase the limited vinyl pressing on zachbensonmusic.com. Where do I even begin with this album? Where do I begin? I don't know. That's why I wrote notes. That's why I'm reading off of notes right now. I got, the listening link for this album. And first of all, I'm honored to be listening to it in advance. That is such an honor. And, I was listening to it a few times and I was like, I got to really know these songs if I'm going to be talking about them and everything. And now I'm just really just listening to them in the car, singing along. I am so attached to these songs now. I am having such a good time with them. And I've gotten to live life the past, 2 weeks, I think it's been, with these songs. And they're in my rotation now. And I know the lyrics to some of them. I'm just having a great time. I love screaming along to some of them. It's great. It's great. The first thing I want to do, though, is I want to talk about Zach's music in general and kind of my history with listening to his music. So I first discovered Zach in 2018 when I went to one of his shows in DC. And if you listen to the previous episode, you heard me talk about what his live performances are like. He is such a wonderful live performer. He goes on tour across the East Coast a lot. So you can catch him if you live on the East Coast. You could probably catch him in a major city, but he is Virginia based, which I know a majority of my listeners are as well. So if he is ever playing near you, definitely go see him because it is so fun and it is so worth it. But yeah, his live performances, he is so hospitable to the people that come to his shows. After the show, he is always talking to everyone and talks about his music. And he is such a fun and energetic performer too. And he's so focused on the craft of the music. I remember one of his shows. I think it might have been the DC show, but I can't remember too well. He mixed a cover of Crimea River. He mixed the track like live in front of everyone, which was so cool. And that's such a good memory in my head of one of his live performances. But whenever he covers songs, he makes it sound like it is his song. I remember another show I went to, he covered Fireflies, and that, I don't really like that song because of, it kind of went through the meme ringer for a few years there, and I left a bad taste in my mouth. But when he covered it, I was like, I love this. It was so good. So whenever he covers a song, he just has a way of making it his own. So Kelly Clarkson, eat your heart out. Yeah. But to get to the point here, Zach's music means so much to me, and it has these past years that I've been listening to him. I really love the storytelling in each of his songs. I love how unapologetic, how expressive, and how confident his music is, because it's always been that way, and it makes me feel those same ways. All of those things are still here in this album, and they are 1,000,000% stronger than ever, which makes me so happy. His creative process has also been really interesting to me in so many ways. And like we were saying in the Challengers episode, I think that the best art is made when you're making it for yourself and for your own well-being. And that's what I was saying, where you can really tell, like, from listening to the music that, he's making this for him. And I think that's what makes it so good. Because it just makes the music feel so much more authentic and so much more emotional and powerful and special, and it just feels like truthful, and very transparent, which I love that. A lot of times in my writing, I feel like I'm holding back and I can't like let all of myself out on the page. So that this music is so great, and Zach as an artist is really great because he kind of just like puts himself on the page or in his music, which I love. So good. And that brings me to the first thing that I absolutely adore and am crazy for with Music for You and Your Friends. The creativity here is off the charts. The creative process and just the creative elements of this album are so clear and so apparent. This is definitely something I would not have realized if I didn't talk to Zach in the Challengers episode, but to inspire his lyrics for some of these songs, Zach wrote from the perspective of other people, whether it be a friend or his partner or someone entirely different. These songs are kind of like perspectives that are not his, which I think is so cool and such a brilliant way to write. I was so gagged when I heard this, and it's so inspiring and so interesting. One of the songs he was saying is from his partner's perspective, and it's his partner's perspective of himself, which I I don't know. That is just brilliant. That is brilliant and so unique. And it reminds me a lot of Folklore by Taylor Swift. If you listen to that album, it's kind of like about fictional characters, and it is about all of their different perspectives of like that one summer. And, these aren't fictional characters that Zach is working with. He has said that these are actually like real people in his life that he is using their perspective in these songs. But it definitely reminds me of that. They're kind of writing from other perspectives. I think that is a very difficult thing to do as a writer. So I applaud that, and I really admire that just right away about this album. Now, I want to get into the tracks. There are 10 tracks here, and I don't think I'll go over each track individually, but also I might, because each track is so unique and it brings something so different to the album, yet it all comes together, and it's all like this cohesive story and this cohesive concept of like these different perspectives and everything. So yeah, let's talk about the tracks a bit. Now, first and foremost, I want to start off with the title track, Music for You and Your Friends. It's the first track on the album. This track, it is not what I imagined in the best way possible. When I first heard this, I was like, oh, Music for Me and My Friends, this is going to be like so fun and poppy and like, I don't know, upbeat and everything. And it is upbeat. but it is sort of like this, it slowly builds upon itself. Like it starts out with just like those piano chords, like chimes. And this is where my vocabulary with music is going to get really bad. So bear with me. But it builds up on itself. And in the end, there's like this tambourine moment, and all the vocals are harmonizing and everything. It's great. It's great. And I love how the song just builds up on itself. It gives it like this very uplifting feeling. And when you look at the lyrics of this song, it is meant to be an uplifting song. It's saying, we're just waiting around to the end. I'll make music for you and your friends. It's like a very, what's the point of everything sort of song, but it's also saying like, hey, it's going to be okay. We have music. I'm making this music for us. And it's really cute and it's very inspiring. This is one of my favorites off the album right away. And I think I love a track that sets the tone for the rest of the album. This is sort of the guiding star of the album, obviously, because it's the title track, but you know what I mean? It's really good. And yeah, I love it. I love it. White Lies. The next track, White Lies. Get up! This is pop music! We are listening to pop music. Get your ass up. Wow. You color pictures where the sky is the same as the sun, 'cause your colors all in white lies. Let's savor that. Let's savor that. I love the range of this song. You have like those smooth lines, but then when the like white lies part comes in, it's like very energetic. I love the way it goes back and forth between the chorus and the verses. Are those the terms? I promise you can trust my music reviews. I promise you can trust them. I really like this song. It is so fun. It makes me want to get up and sing. It makes me want to get up and dance. When I listen to this in the car, something dangerous is happening because it makes me want to go fast. And then in the end of the song, we have the lyric in the beginning that's you color pictures where the sky is the same as the sun. And then in the very end, I'll paint your pictures with the pinks and the blues till we're done. I think it's till we're done. So I love that little kind of like, back and forth of it all. It's so good. I'm realizing how stupid I sound when I talk about music, but oh my gosh, I hope I'm doing it justice. I'm just having a good time. That's what I'm here for. Like I said, we're sipping on White Claws. We're just all here to have a good time. So let's just do that. Now, the next song, fuck it. I'm talking about every song. Fuck it. I'm talking about every song. Over and over, open parenthesis, and over, close parenthesis. This one is so good. This one is so good. I love the references to movies because I do have a movie podcast and I do like movies. That was very Addison Rae. This lyric relates to me because I am Addison Rae. I love this one. I love the references. The title is great. The chorus is so fun. And I can't identify instruments easily, but the electric bass and like guitar riff moment at the end, I love. I love. Now, the next song, Lock My Heart Inside a Hot Car. Right away, let's talk about the title to this. Let's eat up that one. Let's savor the flavor here. Lock my heart inside a hot car. What a name. What a name. The name is great, and you can imagine the lyrics are just as good. The lyrics honestly remind me of like Taylor Swift. They are at that level of poetry and just creativity. I really like this one. The final chorus, I love the drums and like the funky noises in the back, and the chorus itself is so good. And the way it breaks down at the end into like this sort of reverb type thing, it's really cool. And it makes me want to drive super fast with my windows down and then sit in a Walmart parking lot on a sweltering summer day and lock myself in my car. Lock me in a hot car, please. Okay. I Don't Know What I Want is the next track. This, oh my God. This is certainly one of my favorites. This is one of the best. In my notes here, I just wrote down a chunk of the lyrics. Sleeping, sleeping, night into day, after day is a fucked up game that we play, which is really good. I don't exactly know what I wanted to say about those lyrics other than it's really good. The chorus makes me really emo, but also really hyped. And I feel like that is how so many Zach Benson songs make me feel, just emo, but also like so hyped up and like wanting to dance and scream and sing. One of my favorite lyrics from this song, though, one of my favorite lyrics on the album, I could put on a fit, show off my ass and my thighs. Ooh la la. But then the mirror says, ha ha, ha ha. Oh, you ain't leaving tonight. It's so good. I really like this one. I feel like I relate to this one the most because it is because I could put on a fit and show off my ass and my thighs. I could do that. And then the mirror does say haha sometimes. I really do like this one, especially as someone who needs other people's approval for a lot of things, I think, but often, sometimes the people around me, like some people don't like necessarily give me what I want to hear, and it kind of self-reflects in my mind. Yeah, this one is good. I really like this. And in the end, it breaks down to like this stripped voice with minimal instruments, and then just completely breaks down with like drums, bass, vocals, and gets more intense. And there's like this back and forth with the lyrics where it's like, what do you want? What do you need? And eventually Zach is like screaming in the back, like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I need. This song, yeah. Personally, it is the most relatable. It is one of my favorites. This one is so good. Yeah, once again, makes me feel emo, but also like it gets you hyped up. And it makes me want to move. Let's move. Water. Oh my God. Oh my God. Water. Oh my gosh. If you can't tell, this one like kinda wrecked me. This one is so beautiful. It is a story. It is a narrative. It highlights, the dynamics of this relationship, and makes it a metaphor for water, where he says in the song, like, you are water. And it's a very grand statement. It's very romantic, but it's also in some ways tragic. The lyrics here are very, very heavy and powerful. And it tells a story. Yeah, this one is a highlight. And I think I've said that about every one so far. So this one is so special though. Yeah, I can't wait for y'all to hear this. I really can't. The Charlie song is the next one. And, Water just destroyed me. And then the Charlie song put me back together. This one, I'm pretty sure, is about Zach's cat. So the song is about a cat. I know that. It is so cute. It's so cute. And the Charlie song Lullaby, which I think is a different song, kind of like maybe a different version, is on the vinyl. Definitely get the vinyl because this song is so cute. I love it. And every cat owner, I think, can relate to this one where it says, I just want to know that you love me. Yeah. It's very folksy. This one is more folksy. So I like that it kind of steps out, genre wise, takes a short break. And then in the next track, I'm in Love, I'm in Love, it goes right back to the normal genres of this album, more like pop and everything. And I really like I'm in Love, I'm in Love. It is like a song that makes you feel a certain type of emotion. And it's kind of like that glow and that radiance you feel after like realizing that you're in love and, after falling in love, kind of like the honeymoon phase almost. This one is really sweet and really fun. And when I first heard the title, I was thinking like, oh, this is going to be kind of like heartbreaking and a ballad, but it's so fun and it's really positive. And that's a common theme I've noticed in a lot of these songs that they just make me feel good. But for this next track, take a hint. Get up! Wake up! Everyone, get up! Take a hint is that song. It's that song. It's the It song. Song of the summer, take a hint. It's fun. It's fun. And it always makes me think of hearing it live. I did hear it live at one of the shows. It's good. And it sounds just as good on this track than it does live. They're both special in their own regards, but I love that Zach sort of brings the live experience and kind of like those live sounds to the studio track. I have been screaming this one in my car. It's good. It gets me up and moving. And I love when Zach yells. I love when he starts yelling and screeching and screaming. So he does that at the end of this one. So that's why I really like it. And that's why I really love this album because there is so much of Zach yelling. I need him to make like a podcast where he's just screaming at me. I also need him to make like a screamo album, maybe. It's so good. It's so good. Am I already at the last track? Am I really? It doesn't feel like it. I'm gonna look. Am I missing one? Because I might as well talk about all of them now. No, yeah, that's all of them. Wow. What a ride this has been. I was just having so much fun. I was in my own little world talking about these songs. Now, Sweet Savannah is another song. It's the last song, and it's another song that I really want to focus on. This one, I think, is also very special. And I honestly, I couldn't really understand this song at first. I don't, it was really good and it's really fun and I love the way it sounds. But the lyrics actually did not connect with me until like right before I started recording this. I listened to the whole album once again just to have it fresh in my mind and everything. And that's when it finally clicked with me. And I think that's because, I talked to Zach about the album on the Challengers episode and he sort of gave me his insight on like some of the inspirations for the album and the creative processes. And I think that's why this one makes more sense to me now, because now to me it sort of sounds like that there may be a friend named Savannah. I grew up visiting the town of Savannah in Georgia, and that's kind of what I thought of every time I heard the song, and I was like, why is he singing about a town? Which he might be. But now to me, what I interpret is that there is a friend named Savannah, and this song is sort of like a letter to her. And it's like encouraging her and it's inspiring her to like keep moving forward and to like trust the future despite, bad days and everything. I love how this album starts out with, the title of the album is Music for You and Your Friends. So it starts out kind of like with this message at a broader level. But then by the end of the album, it's narrowed down to like this individual level, for this one person, for Savannah, or like, there's a lot of different Savannahs. Whoever's listening, it's for you. I think that's really cool. It is the perfect end to this album. And it makes this album a whole concept. It makes it a flowing kind of like living organism. And I love it. This is so beautiful. I'm going to listen to this song one more time, actually, because I want to talk more about it. Give me 1 second. Hey, I'm back. Would it be crazy to tell you while I was gone listening to Sweet Savannah one more time, I cried? Would it be crazy? Oh my God. That is a really, really just very heartwarming and so sweet. And that is a really special song. And I don't know. This album just needed that. Oh my gosh. Let's just say it. What a perfect album. Oh my god. That's that song. Wow, that got me really like kind of emotional. Um that's a really pretty song. What a I mean every single track was is so good. It's so special. It's so sincere. It's so creative. I mean, not only is it just like doing things that are so brilliant and cool creatively, like by writing from other people's perspectives and, sort of addressing friends and like uplifting people and everything, it is just also so rich with these lyrics and these emotions. And it's so transparent and genuine. Genuine is the word to describe it. Oh my gosh, you guys. Are we just going to be talking about music from now on? Because I'm tempted to, but I really don't. That's the thing. Like, if I do another bonus episode with music, what's next? What's next? I think I'm just going to have to wait for Zach to release another album. Like, and I'll just review that next because nothing is going to top this. I am so serious. I really really hope that when you all listen on May 17th that you have the same experience with it and it connects with you too, and I really hope that you take something completely different out of it than I did, and it means something completely different to you and personal to you because it certainly does to me, but also like I really want you all to experience sort of the excitement and uh, positive experience that I had with this album and am having with it. And the best part is that there are already a lot of singles out on this album. This will come out probably on Tuesday before the album comes out. So if you are listening, you can go to Zach Benson's music accounts and White Lies is out. Take a hint. I'm in love, over and over and over, and the Charlie song. So you can already listen to all those right away. Uh, so you can already get like a big taste of the album, which is great. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about the title track and Sweet Savannah. They are the creative cornerstones of this album, and they bring this album to life. I love the imagery that Zach mentioned, that this is an album for friends to listen to and scream along to in a basement somewhere, because I feel like the collection of perspectives that are used in this album is almost like a conversation between these friends. And so this album is just kind of representing like their lives coming together to like listen to this music. It's really cool. It's just such a cool concept and there's so much to think about here. I don't know if any of that was intended, but that's sort of what I interpret from all of this, and I think that is really beautiful and absolutely one of a kind. Now, do I have any critiques? Do I have any notes? Nope. No crumbs. No crumbs left. No notes. Case closed. Yeah, no notes. Absolutely none. I am being so honest too. I it yeah. I mean, I just talked about every single song in depth, and that ate. What's 10 minus 2? Huh? It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. And for that reason, I give Music for You and Your Friends by Zach Benson a shining, golden, glowing Nick pick. Okay, before I wrap up, I want to say please be sure to pre save and stream the album. Music for You and Your Friends is out May 17th, and you can stream or buy it digitally and also purchase the limited edition vinyl, all at zachbensonmusic.com. Also, you can follow Zach on social media. His accounts are very, very fun. I think I mentioned it in the last episode, but he's been viral on TikTok a few times because he's really funny. So you can find him on social media at backzenson. So it's Zach with a B, and also he spells Zach with an H. So Zach with a B and an H, and Benson with a Z. So he just swaps the letters. So yeah, follow him and be sure to stream this album. And to Zach, I want to say thank you once again for coming on my show last week. It was so fun to talk to you about Challengers and the Muppets. And I did watch those movies he recommended. Romy and Michelle High School Reunion. I did watch that. I had the best time with that movie. And maybe I'll talk about it on here. I really hope I do because it is so good. And to everyone, in case you could not already tell, I definitely recommend you all to listen to this album. So when it comes out on May 17th, you should definitely stream it. Okay, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Coffee Nick's Movie Picks. If you like what you heard, please be sure to give the show a 5-star rating and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Follow the show's accounts on social media and share the show with you and your friends. Get it? Because music for you and your friends. Also, the next episode, we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming with coffee and movie reviews, so please be sure to tune in then. Until next time, I'll be unfriending, blocking, and reporting anyone who makes comments about me drinking sparkling water. I will see you then. Thanks again for listening to Coffee Nick's Movie Picks. Our opening theme is Summer Solstice on the June Planet, and our closing theme is I Feel It All So Deeply, both songs by Bail Bonds. Before you go, please be sure to follow the show on social media at Coffee Nick's Movie Picks, and give the show the Nick pick by rating it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Thanks so much.